I just had the biggest relapse I've had since I launched my business. And if I don't nip this in the bud right now, it literally has the power to take away everything that I've worked so hard to achieve. Guys, over the next 7 days, I'm going to be doing a hard dopamine detox because I need one right now. I really do. And I'm betting a lot of you guys do as well. And so I want to challenge you to take this dopamine detox with me. What's up guys, Jordan here. Today I want to talk about dopamine, the chemical in our brain which is linked to pleasure, to happiness and desire, but is also closely linked to addiction, to bad habits and self-sabotage. And guys, this thing can literally make or break a person. And recently I have become overindulged in dopamine, and that's a very dangerous place to be. I've relapsed hard. And I'm betting a lot of you guys are in the same position as me, but you don't actually realize you are right now. So I don't care whether you're watching this today or in 2 months or in a year's time, I challenge you to take a 7-day dopamine detox. This thing will make you give you more clarity, it'll make you more motivated, you'll be more productive, and you'll just generally be a happier person. You'll be pleased by the simpler things in life, like working on your business and bettering yourself. So guys, dopamine it's intrinsic in every single person in the world, okay? Everybody has dopamine in them, and I want to cover what dopamine actually is now. So we covered it's a chemical, but it also acts as a hormone and a neurotransmitter, and it sends us pleasure signals when we take a certain action, okay? I mean, the only way I can describe it is if you've got your phone on a table in front of you, have you ever had that desire to pick up your phone and scroll through social media? I know you all have, okay? You're in 2020. You get that desire to pick it up. That's dopamine. That's dopamine saying to you, pick that up so you can get that instant gratification of picking up your phone or whatever. It's the same desire we get when we want to play video games or watch pornography or drink alcohol or take drugs or smoke cigarettes, okay? All of these things is dopamine. But also it's the same thing we get when we read a book or when we finish a task or when we go out for a run or we finish a workout. That's dopamine. And as human beings, we are limited to how much dopamine we actually have, okay? And so if we give in and we indulge in all of the bad sources, then we stop enjoying or getting our dopamine from all of the good things, okay? So this is very closely linked to good and bad habits. And I know a lot of you guys right now will be in a position where maybe you're frustrated with the fact that you're not getting as much work done as you want to do. A lot of people say, why aren't I productive? Why am I procrastinating? Now, 9 times out of 10, that's because you're not getting dopamine from doing the task you need to do. And so you procrastinate doing something else which does give you that dopamine. Because as human beings, we're fiends to dopamine. We are addicted to it and we want the quickest and easiest fix. Okay? And things like porn, things like drugs, things like games, things like going out drinking, our mobile phones is the worst thing. All of these things give us very quick dopamine surges. And so we need to be able to control them. And so one of the really cool things that I want to tell you guys about, I've watched a video just now and I'll try and put a link in the description, to explain how this all works. These neuroscientists did a test on rats. And essentially what they did was they had this box and there was a button on either side of this box. And they wired a brain up to the rat's brain and they sent electrodes to the rat to give them dopamine surges when they pressed the button. So they had to go from one side to the other and back and forth and they would get these dopamine surges. And what they found was this rat would literally go back and forth until it worked itself into exhaustion because it was hooked on getting dopamine at absolutely all costs. We only have to look at drug addicts to see how they will self-sabotage their entire life just to get that dopamine from taking the drug, okay? So it's a similar thing what's happening with that rat. But the really cool thing from that is that when they flipped it, when they took dopamine away from the rat, when they used the electrodes to remove dopamine from the rat's brain, and they replaced those buttons for food, the rat would not even go the distance to get food when it needed it. It didn't have the motivation to go and eat because it wasn't getting dopamine from it. And this is the same with people. When we overindulge, and we are in a society completely overindulgent in dopamine, so many quick surges. When we overindulge in quick, easy dopamine sources, we then don't have the motivation to do the things we actually really need to do, like read a book or better ourselves or work on our business or work out. And people think that's just because, that's just my brain's wired up, like I don't have enough motivation. Like, no. You are just overindulged in all of the bad sources of dopamine. And another way I can explain this is like alcohol tolerance. If you're drinking with your friends, you've always got that guy who's like, I'm a lightweight, and then that's me. And then you got the other guy who can I can drink 6 pints, mate. And it's like, great, it's only because you drink 6 pints every single weekend, and so you've built up this tolerance, okay? You've then got one person who gets loads and loads of dopamine, so they're playing games, right? So they're always chasing the next thing, okay? So it's like gateway drugs. You start off on like an entry-level drug, right? But then you've kind of maxed out your dopamine level from that. So you chase the next high, and you get your max dopamine from that, so you chase the next high, and that's what the whole theory of gateway drugs. But then we can look at it on the good side, and we've got business. So you want to aim for your first 5-figure month. Amazing. Then you want to aim for your first 6-figure month. Okay, good. And then it's like that curse of entrepreneurship. They're all called different things, where we always just have this desire to better ourselves. I mean, that's a good dopamine rush to be chasing. And so you want to make sure you're on the right side of that dopamine chase, because you're always going to be chasing dopamine. It's just either going to be something good or it's going to be something bad, and only you can control that. Now, the problem is with this is it's very, very easy to lose control of this. And up until yesterday, I was very close to losing control of my dopamine addiction. And this whole lockdown scenario, when I'm recording this, we're in lockdown still in this quarantine. This has enabled us to be completely on our own, which means we are the only person in control of our dopamine, okay, of where we're getting it from. And so you have to be very strong-minded to control that. And about 2 weeks ago now, one of my friends messaged me, and because everyone's at home now, lots of people aren't working, he was like, Jordan, why don't you buy an Xbox so you can play Xbox with us at the weekend? Because I used to be a gamer when I was a kid. I mean, I haven't played games since probably I was about 16, 17 years old, and until about 2 weeks ago. Problem is, when I was 16 years old, I was an addict. I mean, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, all of them, I was an absolute addict to gaming. I would play like all day, every day. And so I've got that addictive personality. I played gaming when I was in uni. I'd go out all the time. That was my dopamine surge. So 2 weeks ago, I've kind of thought, what the heck? Like, yeah, I used to enjoy it. Why not I just get one and I'll play on Friday and Saturday nights? The problem is when you introduce one bad habit, you have to make room for something else. You have to make room for that, okay? So when I'm getting all that dopamine from playing games on a Friday night, and it was absolutely fantastic, I then might stop a habit like reading a book. And you then have the nature to introduce another bad habit, something else that gives you dopamine. For example, last weekend, Friday night, I played Xbox Call of Duty Warfare, for any of you interested, but you can't play me now because I'm done, right? But I played from like 9 p.m. to like 4 a.m. and I was drinking all night as well with my friends. At the time, having an amazing time. It's great. But then in the morning, I didn't work out. In the morning, I didn't want to read my book. And on the Monday, I had this desire to watch like a YouTube tutorial in the morning of like how someone was like making this gun, like some top player. And I realized, Jordan, what are you doing? You've introduced this disease into your life, and now all of these little bad habits are starting to come out. I was drinking every weekend up until about, this weekend just gone, I had a couple of drinks as well. And so all these bad dopamine fixes can quickly come back into your life and overtake you. And then all of a sudden, you're not as motivated to wake up early, to go to bed early, to work on time, to focus on non-procrastination tasks, okay, to really be ultimately productive, okay, because you're not getting your dopamine from that because you have a very easy source in your life. Now, that's a problem for me because I need all of my energy to build my empire, to fulfill my dreams. I don't have space to sacrifice dopamine in that area of my life. And so I've done that test now, and I've realized that. But now I need to detox from dopamine again. And I need to bring myself back to that optimum level of productivity, of drive and determination. And don't get me wrong, I never fully lost that. But I'm recognizing the fact that if I didn't control it now, that's the place where I'm going to end up. So over the next 7 days, I'm going to be detoxing from the following things. And by the way, guys, I recommend and I challenge you to do the exact same thing as me. Now, some of these things won't be relevant to you. I'll chuck in a few extra things that might be as well towards the end. First thing I'm going to be doing is my mobile phone, okay? This thing is literally cancer to dopamine. Your mobile phone is this dopamine generating machine, and you need to get rid of it if you want to fast from dopamine, if you want to reset your dopamine levels so you can be getting it from the things that you really need to in your life. I mean, your mobile phone, social media, the lot, get rid of it. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is I've got all of my notifications turned off on my phone full stop. I'm in Do Not Disturb mode, which is the moon on iPhone. I have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Snapchat, all notifications turned off. I've moved all the apps to like a couple of pages down on my phone, so when I open my phone, I don't even see the application to scream out to me, okay? The only reason I'm keeping the applications on my phone is because I need to for my business. If you are not an influencer or somebody who has a social media, like personal brand, you need your social media, then you should delete those applications. They have absolutely no purpose in your life whatsoever, okay? You can go on them on a desktop. You do not need them on your phone because you're going to be getting that dopamine fix. At least just do that for these next 7 days when you're actually doing your dopamine fast, okay? Because the only time I'm going to be using social media is for business. Absolutely not for personal. The next thing is I'm limiting myself to only using my phone 3 times per day. Once in the morning, once at lunch, and in the evening, okay? Once in the evening. So the one in the morning is at about 8:30. That's after my morning routine. Now, this can change for you, whatever your routine is. You don't have to follow my routine, but I'd recommend you checking it out if you want to. So 8 in the morning, this is when I'm actually going to check my phone for 5 to 10 minutes. I'm waking up at 6 a.m. every morning, starting today. It's what I always used to do anyway. But yeah, within the last 2 weeks, I've really kind of gone laps on that. So 6 a.m. wake up, then I read for 45 minutes. I'm currently reading Atomic Habits. You should check this out. This is just on my desk. This is where I read in the morning by James Clear. That's a really good book. Started that this morning and read a couple of chapters of that. And then at 45 minutes, I will work out. So I'm limited to pull-up bars at the moment because of the whole lockdown situation. And then I will have my breakfast, have a shower, and check my phone. When I'm checking my phone, I'm only replying to friends and close family. That's all I'm doing. Not checking social media, not my emails, no work stuff, none of that. Just friends and close family when I'm doing that, okay? Then at lunchtime, I'm doing the exact same thing. No social media, no emails, none of that stuff. Friends and social and close family. I'm trying to keep people happy, okay? I don't want to just axe people from my life. I still want to keep in contact with my friends. And then exactly the same in the evening. So I'm limiting myself to those uses for my mobile phone. Same goes for the internet. Absolutely no procrastination browsing. The minute you recognize you're doing it, stop doing it, okay? You do not want to get those dopamine fixes. No watching stupid YouTube videos, cat videos, things like that. The only videos you can watch, and same goes for the TV, are educational-based content, okay? Interviews, the visual equivalents of reading a book, something which is going to educate you. And that doesn't just mean that you should be watching Making a Murderer on Netflix or Tiger King. It's going to teach you about big cats. That's not how this works, okay? You've got to be taking this seriously if you really want this to work for you. I don't watch TV anyway. It kind of just sits there as an ornament on my wall when I watch it. If I have friends over and stuff or I've got family, I'll put it on as background noise, but I don't really watch TV anyway, so that's not really going to be a problem for me. But for some of you guys, I imagine it will be. So no Netflix, just educational-based content. Now, have I covered anything else? Have I missed anything else? Guys, I've just got my list in front of me because I wanted to make sure I get this right. Of course, no gaming whatsoever. So I never really started gaming, but I'm nipping it in the bud before I became a gamer again, okay? So I'm keeping the Xbox. I've decided to keep it for friends, family. When I have people over, it'll be a nice thing to have. But I'm no gaming whatsoever from me for now on. For the next 7 days and for now on. I just don't trust myself to not get hooked again. And no drinking, no alcohol, okay? Over the next 7 days, absolutely no glasses of wine whatsoever. No hazy heads in the morning. I want to be making sure I'm focusing on my reading and getting rid of that as a habit, okay? Don't get me wrong, I'm going to enjoy the odd glass of red in the future, but for the next 7 days, I'm not doing it. I'm detoxing myself from it, and I would recommend you doing the same. So for some of you guys, I've got some other things I could throw out there. No smoking, obviously no drugs, no pornography, and yeah, apart from that, I mean, guys, you're probably thinking right now, Jordan, you just want to make me bored. And that's exactly what I want to do to you. And I want to be bored off my brain from this 7-day detox, because boredom is only coming from the fact that I'm not getting dopamine. And when I'm not getting dopamine, it's only because I'm not getting it from the things I was getting it from before, which are all those bad habits, okay? But what my brain will rewire to do over the next 7 days, what it will reprogram itself to, is to get dopamine from other things. To get dopamine from reading a book. To get dopamine from eating well, from working out, from sitting in the office and doing a ton of work and being really, really productive. All things that I get dopamine from right now, but I get less from them than I did 2 weeks ago because I've been over indulgent. And that's the goal, to get back to that optimum peak of efficiency. Now, some of you guys might be thinking, well, Jordan, like, do I have to quit these things for good? No, like, you don't have to quit gaming for good if that's something that you do all the time, but do it once at the weekend. No, you don't have to quit drinking with your friends, but do it once at the weekend. Reward yourself, treat yourself, get all of your fixes from all the good things in your life, like working and progression, and then reward yourself with a surge at the weekend or a surge one night a week. Just do not make it a habit, because your body is literally ingrained to work against you in that front. It's ingrained to just desire the quickest and easiest fixes of dopamine. Wow, man, if I had £5 every time I've said that word in this whole video. But guys, yeah, look, I'm going to round this video up. This is not about me making your life boring or making you do something, making you quit all of the good things in your life. But what you've got to realize that if you want to be successful, if you want to carry on progressing in your life, you cannot overindulge yourself in easy dopamine at this stage. If you are infinitely rich, you have millions of pounds in the bank, you've built the life that you want to live, then you can indulge yourself for the entirety of your life. But if you indulge yourself now, and you let all of the things like progression and productivity slip, then it's not going to be long until you run out of money, your business falls to shit, and you can't enjoy those things. So the key is to work hard, get everything in check, make sure you're getting your fixes from all of the good habits within your life so you can continue to progress, so you continue to grow. And then once you're at the position that you want to be in, once you have hit your goal, indulge, enjoy yourself, splash out. Certainly what I intend to do. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you're going to be taking part in this detox with me, comment down below with your reason why, and I'll give away a coaching call on the follow-up video next week. Now, what can I do in that follow-up? In fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to vlog the next week. Anytime I'm feeling low, something I relapse on, something I struggle with, if I feel good, whatever, I'm going to document the journey over the next 7 days. And I'm going to upload that in a video, mash it together for a follow-up next week so you guys can know how I've got on with this dopamine detox. Yeah, that's happening. Guys, I hope you have enjoyed it. Please do make sure you smash that like button for me and ensure you are subscribed with your notification bell turned on so you get notified when we bring out that follow-up video. Cheers.